Hello, and welcome to a stylish episode of the Drywall Podcast. I'm your host, Nick Harmon. With us today, Jay Hodges of AG Drywall out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. We discuss his many adventures traveling all over the country and beyond, and his endeavors with the hair industry and also photography. Jay also worked with Drywall Nation and Brian Kitchen for a bit up in Canada. And we also talk about asking for the price you deserve.
And they have set prices here that they've been charging for I don't know how long. And they're like, well, that's something we pay here. Like, like who came and said this is what you all drywalls have to get paid? Like, who the fuck said that?
So they tried to come in and lowball you a little bit, like, hey Jay, maybe you're new to the game down here in Tennessee. This is the way we do it. And you're like, that's fine. Hire that guy over there.
Yeah.
You want a shit job?
Bills. Yeah, I look at what my bills are. I look at what my kids need, what I need for the, and that's how I set prices. And also, what I do, what I bring to the table. And I'm not going to let someone else dictate how much money I'm going to make.
Jay is awesome, and I know you guys are going to enjoy this one. Also, I'm excited to announce our newest sponsor for the months of March and April, Can-Am Tools. Can-Am has been a supporter of the Drywall Podcast and Fresco Harmony for a long time, and I appreciate them for that. Can-Am Tools is celebrating 50 years of excellence as the original and leading inventor of the semi-automatic drywall finishing tool. Their line of tools is centered around the compound tube. The compound tube is one of the most versatile tools on the market. For the months of March and April, you have a chance to get your hands on these tools at a discounted price if you go to canamtool.com and enter promo code TDP15. Also, be sure to be on the lookout for my interview with company president Wolfgang Dombrowski coming soon. The Drywall Podcast is also brought to you by Fresco Harmony. Fresco Harmony, making walls better since 2004. Now available online at csrbuilding.com. Guests of the Drywall Podcast will receive a swag bucket from CSR filled with all kinds of good stuff. For now, Jay Hodges on the 41st episode of the Drywall Podcast. Let's get into it.
There we go.
Welcome to the Drywall Podcast, buddy.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm pretty good, man. Took the rest of the day off. I'm just gonna relax the rest of the day.
Yeah. Have you done a podcast before?
Yeah, I did the construction life podcast recently. So it hasn't posted yet. Yeah, with Manny.
Yeah.
He's in Canada. I think he's in Toronto, Mississauga area. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he was trying to grab you a little while ago, right?
Yeah, we were going back and forth. It just we never got a chance to meet up. So, but now he's doing it on Zoom now, so he can you can do it from wherever now. So before he had it at his office, so now it makes it easier.
Yeah, I started on Zoom. I was like, I'm going all over. I'm out of the gate, I mean, I've done them in person, but they're the sound's a little different. So I've got all this stuff dialed in,
Gotcha. And now university, you don't have to have a destination area. You can just do it from wherever.
Yep, I've got. I think we got Gary Holt plastering, Australia.
Oh.
Yeah. Talk to that guy.
His work is pretty good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, those Australians, they know what they're doing.
Man. Yeah.
Have you caught a couple of the Drywall Podcast episodes yet?
Pretty much got them all. Yeah.
You got them all. And then you reached out, you were interested, I think, in coming. You were like, hey, man, can I come learn about Fresco Harmony a little bit in Albuquerque? I think that's what sparked the conversation between you and I.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, because I was I dabble with the Venetian Plaza a bit, but I wanted to do I'm looking at Fresco Harmony, and it's something I can have in Arsenal also. That way you can give the clients, something also that they can't really fork out for the Venetian Plaster. We can do Fresco Harmony also, like, because Venetian Plaster, you pretty much have to come back later on after after everybody comes in and does all the other work, like the flooring and shelves, and after all the other trades come in, because you don't really want it to get scratched or damaged because it's really hard to fix. With Fresco Harmony, you can pretty much do it right then and there. You don't have to leave and come back all the time, or you can come back later. But and you can coat the wall easier. You don't have to sit there and because you're using mud with it, and then so you can finish a wall, or also with popcorn removal, you can just go ahead and coat that shit.
Yeah.
Instead of having, because sometimes, like you said, I think before, I think I heard you mention, like, you don't have to worry about the asbestos and stuff like that. You sit there, sand it off or whatever. You can just go ahead, kind of hit it real quick, then kind of coat on top of that, with the Fresco Harmony, and then you can still get a nice color joint compound out of that. And also, I've been talking to quite a few painters too, and I've been just showing them, show me some of your work, and they're like, "Wow, that looks really good. I wouldn't mind, having some of that,
Okay.
Even some of the painters are really like looking at some of your stuff now, and they are interested in doing it too.
And that is Chattanooga, Tennessee. Right, you're in Chattanooga, so we'll maybe we'll back up a little bit. It's interesting to me where people came from, how they got there. What you're saying about Fresco Harmony is absolutely true. So that's sort of what attracted you to the product. When did you first find out about Fresco Harmony?
A few years ago, I looked at it. I saw it around here and there, and then just like looking up different ways of, like, I think the first time I was going to meet my brother-in-law. We was doing a project, and they wanted a nice finish on an accent wall behind in their bedroom. So there's another product out called clay something. I forgot the name of it. But
American clay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we were going to use that, but we couldn't find a supplier in that area. That's when I was in Canada. We couldn't find a supplier in that area. So then we was looking at alternatives. What else can we do?
And then Fresco, we weren't selling in Canada either.
Now you are.
Yeah, I was waiting. We were getting a bunch of requests from Canada, and I had approached a couple different shops, and like just kind of, it's hard to get a new product out. These shops can be kind of, and nobody had heard of it. So, the podcast is sort of what brought Fresco Harmony to CSR. So Brad, was able to see the product. He liked it. And now we've got a really good ally with CSR in Canada. We got a place where we can ship the product to, and then they can get it to anyone in Canada and globally, which is really good. I didn't want to do all that work. I mean, it's hard enough just to ship it to one shop, let alone like be shipping all over the world. I'd rather just let those guys take care of it. So I mean, now
that's the biggest store in Canada, actually North America too. Like I still order from CSR because the shops here don't have what I want. So instead of me going back and forth and we can order it for you, I can order myself.
Yeah.
So, but
you'd rather go there than Amazon, because I know you can get some stuff through Amazon, but
but usually when I put an order in, I order like everything I need. I don't want to order. Sometimes order one thing from here, order one thing from there. But if I'm going to order something, I'd rather just go down. They usually have everything. Every now and then they might be on back order for certain things, but 90% of the time they have everything you need.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
I mean, not like now that you're in Tennessee, and you're in Tennessee. You still want a Columbia tool or something? You just go online and order from CSR.
Yeah, I just go to CSR.
Okay,
Everything, yeah.
all right.
I
Yeah,
even got
okay.
I just ordered some more stuff from there. Yeah, I just ordered everything from CSR.
Good to know. I mean, it was serendipitous. I would have probably jumped, the first person that showed sort of interest, but I was, just worried about marketing and selling in the United States. I was like, I don't want to mess with Canada yet. It's like just concentrate down here and something will happen, which it did, which is great. But
oh yeah, shipping is fast and it's cheap too. It's more
good.
expensive when you're in Canada. It's expensive to order stuff from the States to get to Canada. But for some reason, it's actually cheaper. It's pretty cheap to order stuff from Canada to the States.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, vice versa. If you're in Canada, you don't really want to order stuff from the States as much. Usually, when I go back or I have if someone goes, I have, hey, bring this back with you because it's expensive to get stuff from the States to Canada.
Interesting. Probably because they want to keep it, in Canada.
Because the taxes are crazy high in Canada.
Yep. It's a little bit challenging, but shipping the Fresco Harmony and the margins and stuff, they're really good. It really caters to that element of marketing and sales. So that part has been beneficial. I could ship a lot of product cheap. It doesn't cut into the profit margins too much on the product. You guys are still getting it at a good price. Everybody wins,
Gotcha.
And all that's by design, man. People told me I should pre-package the colored mud, this and that. I've heard that a ton. And I'm like, I like the bottles. The bottles are cool. And now you have a bottle, so you requested a sample pack. You've got it. You're waiting to play around with it, which is cool. You should
honestly, man, I want to. I've been waiting for my wife. I just got a new spot for her because she's a hairdresser, and so she's about to. We're waiting for her place to get finished. So
okay,
at her place. So I just been waiting. You know how it is building out a new place. It keeps getting
Yeah, I would use a Gallery Pearl on a hairdresser. We've done a couple hairdresser studios, and Gallery Pearl it's a neutral tone. So in a salon, you don't want to go with any color. Like you want natural. Exactly. It changes the hair color and stuff like that. Yep. So Gallery Pearl is a fantastic color for salon. You can pass that along or whatever, when the time comes. In the meantime,
or even a darker color. I think she wants a black tone now.
Oh, okay.
That way, that way it doesn't mess. It's still neutral also, but because the floor is going to be bright and everything else is going to be bright. So okay. She has that black accent wall, and so she wants that now. Well, you know how whites are. Every 10 seconds they change it. Yeah,
I have one. I happen to have one of those. How long have you been married?
12 years.
Oh, okay. You got me by a little bit. We've been eight.
Yeah, 12. And we've been together. We've been together about 3 years before that. So about 15 years we've been together. But I've known her for even longer. We were friends for a long time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was friends with my wife for a little while. We both had other interests in mind, which kind of helps that initial. I think those initial stages.
Yeah, it really does because I think about it because they pretty much know all your floors. They know everything, so they know what they're getting into.
Yeah, they know what they. Yeah. And no kids.
Yeah, I have kids. Yeah.
How many kids?
I have two of my own, and I have a stepson also.
Okay, beautiful.
And so I have my daughter's 10, my son is 8, my stepson is 23.
Okay, so he's a little older. He's kind of out. You're dealing with the younger ones right now.
Mm-hmm. He's actually working with me now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So
is how long has he been working with you?
A few months now.
Okay, how's he doing?
He's doing pretty good. He's picking up pretty good.
Yeah, is he like, this sucks? Hey, this sucks, Jay. Hey, man. When do I get to run the box, Jay?
Yeah, I'm not letting him run the boxes. I'm just make sure I want him to master everything by hand first,
Smart.
And then I'll put him on tools later. He just started he's rolling and flushing now. So
great starting point. Yeah, great starting point. Or nail spotter. That's a good spot.
No nail spotter yet. I think he used like maybe twice because I needed the job to be rushed. But for the most part, I just got been doing it by hand. Like I don't care. Like do it by hand.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you use a nail spotter?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And do you use on I was always like use nail spotter on second coat. I would never use it on the first coat because you got the clickers.
Unless I hung it myself or I know the hangers really well.
Right. So you will use it. You'll use it on the base coat, first coat, nails and screws. If it's a good hanger.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if I hung it myself or if I know the hangers personally and they know, or if I subbed it out to the hangers, they know, hey, I need my screws in, or because I just back charge them the first time. And
oh, really? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I like that. I like that.
Yeah, then they know better next time.
$5 a screw.
Yeah.
$5 a screw.
I'd say like
go through and just circle all the little black moons and like it's $5 a piece, man.
Yeah, I don't even circle. I don't have time to circle shit. It's $250 or $300 off. And that's it, like I'm not sitting there circling every fucking screw in the house.
No, I'm just messing.
I know.
So you'll do how do you do that? So you will give them, if your screws look good enough to your satisfaction, you'll actually give them more money or take money off of the bill. How does that work?
Yeah, I take off the bill. Like the first that I charge for the house. This is what it's going to cost. Yeah. And then if it's really bad job, if they hung a bad job, and then because I have to take time and then and fix shit, or if I have someone else there, I gotta pay someone else to fix it. So
okay. Do you communicate that to the hanger or the contractor up front?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right.
And I tell them if it's just me. If I just subbed out just for the finishing, I'll let them know if the hanging is really bad. I have to charge extra for this because I'm not going to spend half a day fixing someone else's work and not get compensated for it.
Well, hey man, a lot of drywall dudes will eat that shit. They will. Not you. When they want the best.
In the beginning, when I was looking for work, and in the beginning. You don't complain about it too much because you want to keep getting those contracts.
Yeah.
But a while, it's like, nah, it has to stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
good for you.
Once your work is up to par, you don't have to. They want you, so you don't have to worry about it.
Of course.
And
yeah.
Sometimes you can't be scared to charge people. A lot of times people are scared to charge, thinking they're not going to hire you again. And if your work is good enough, and they're going to hire you for you.
That's right. No, and the better your work is, I call that leverage, man. The more leverage you have, when you can get things like, hey, if I got to go back and fix this stuff, I'm charging you $100 an hour or whatever. It's my time.
You come in and they didn't clean the house for you or whatever. It's a shit show when you show up. Sometimes I was like, all right, I don't even unpack my tools first. I go in the house first and walk around. Oh, yeah.
You're a full prima donna. You've graduated to full prima donna status. Exactly. I love it, man. I love it.
And then sometimes you show up and it's not ready, you leave, and they call you, hey, what? You haven't started yet. I'm like, you're in the house?
Yeah, what happened?
It's not clean yet.
You're like, shit ain't ready.
House, I'm going to start. No, come back.
Maybe you haven't heard. I'm AG Drywall, bitch, and you're lucky to have me. Love it, man. But I joke, but we need to, that's what it's companies like yours, and the way you do that raises the overall bar for our trade. We're not just a bunch of bitches coming in there and doing your bidding.
And it's a thing of respect. Like even me, I respect every trade coming behind me. Like I don't.
Absolutely.
Even for the Sparkies, I don't throw mud inside. For them, they have to clean out. I go around and I make it clean for them.
Yeah.
The floor guys, I don't try to sit there and make a lot of mud for them or make a lot of mess for any other trade. So I respect every trade that comes behind me. So
That's
I want
right.
you to respect me also,
Fair
And then so
enough.
I think it's universal. It goes around. So like, don't treat me like shit just because you think, oh, he's just a drywall. He'll do whatever I say. No, it doesn't
Right.
work that
That's right.
way.
And you
Yeah,
have, so who besides, and who's your, is it stepson?
yeah. My stepson, he's working with me now. Yeah,
What's his name?
David.
David. Cool. Shout out to David for being in the trenches there. Do you have anybody else working with you?
Well, not anyone like permanent sub guys sometimes, but he's like my only permanent guy. Yeah.
Okay.
So now I have a few other guys, especially I just got here also. I
Yeah,
just moved
yeah.
back here, a few months ago. So now I'm just like a few guys here, and also I work with another company. So whenever I need help, he will hire a crew for me. So I don't have to sit there and hire somebody. So
Yeah.
he'll bring a crew in for me, and then so I'm doing a lot of commercial work now, and I'm doing a lot of high end residentials, like crazy, like really nice places. So my
Yeah.
work is kind of shifted a little bit. Before in Canada, I was doing all new residentials, so like this houses back to back. That's all I did was just all new houses, pretty
Yeah.
much. And then I did a little bit of commercial here and there, but for the most part, 90% of my work was just all houses up there. Now I'm doing a lot more commercial and high end,
Why is
renovations.
that? Why do you think that is?
Because here, the new homes here, they don't pay as much, and
Okay.
then they try to stick you with the whole house for one price.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
all return windows, they don't want to pay extra for that. All the new, so door returns, window returns. They don't want.
Yeah, yeah.
They just think, and they also just want to pay for the sheets here. So like
Yeah.
it's just one price, or even if it's like a 20-foot ceiling. Like, no, that's not an extra.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I gotta build a scaffold.
Yeah,
I gotta
it's cheap down here. It's fucking
yeah,
cheap. Like New Mexico is the same. I know Texas is like cheap. Like they're
yeah.
beating the shit out of those drywallers over there. And New Mexico is the
Exactly.
same.
Yeah.
They just beat them
So
up. Like,
yeah,
and they'll do it. They'll take that shit, man.
yeah.
You
And
know,
I'm like,
but you're
I,
like,
I went.
no, I'm good. Like, fuck
Yep,
you. Like
yep.
it's an extra 25 cents for the height. We got to do
hmm
X amount. Do you charge linear foot per like window return, like that kind of shit?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then yeah, they don't want to pay it. And I'm like, I'm not doing it then. So fuck off.
Good
But
for you.
commercial work, they don't mind paying.
Hey,
And
so to all my listeners out there listening, you're a drywaller. You got a contractor who's beating you up. You can say no. You heard
yep,
it here first. J Hodges, AG Drywall is giving you permission. Nick Harmon of the Drywall Podcast, we're giving you permission to say no, and you can charge whatever you feel is necessary to
yeah,
get compensated for your time and your energy and the amount of knowledge that you've obtained and
yeah.
learned.
And they have set prices here that they've been charging for I don't know how long. And
Yeah,
I got they're like, well, that's not what we pay here. Like, I don't
yeah.
care. Like who came and said this is what you all drywalls have to get paid? Like who the fuck said that?
So
You
they
know?
tried to come in and lowball you a little bit, like, "Hey, Jay, maybe you're new to the game down here in Tennessee. This is the way we do it." And you're
Yeah.
like, "That's fine. Hire
Okay.
that guy. Hire that
Yeah.
guy over
Yeah.
there. You
I
want a
look at my
shit job?
bills. Yeah, I look at
Yeah,
what my bills are. I look at what my kids need, what I need for and that's how I
that's
set
right.
prices, and also what I do, what I bring to the table, and I'm not gonna let someone else dictate how much money I'm going to make.
Okay, so though this is a good conversation, and like, how do you they'll come around, but like these guys, I mean, you've been down there for a short period of time. How do you have the reputation? I mean, how do these guys know that you're good? I mean, there's got to be some sales in there where you're telling them, hey,
Yeah.
man, you know what? This is what I charge. And I'll tell you why. It's because
hmm
I show up, I get the shit done, it looks good. Here's a portfolio of my work. How do you do that?
When I first got here, I was calling like different drywall companies, and then none of them like really had work. Then I would tell them, hey, well, we can pay you hourly. I'm like, I'm not working hourly.
Yeah.
Um, like, how just give me a house, and if you like it, and we'll figure out a price. And a lot of them were like, oh, well, I can pay you this, I can pay you that for a sheet. I'm like, well, and then I kept going back and forth with them, and I'm like, whatever. So then I got with another contractor. I did a job for him.
So you ate it a little bit. You ate it a little bit
for that first two houses I did for him. I ate it a little bit, and then I saw that he kept. First I said I'll eat this, and I'll show you what I can do. Then we go from there.
Yeah.
And he kept. Next house he gave me, he did the same thing. He goes, well, I'm like, nope, that's it. So I left. I leave. I showed up to a job.
Okay.
And then he haggled with me. I just packed up my tools and left.
Yeah. And did he try to chase you, call you back?
Yeah, he called me back, and then he gave me another
all right. Yeah. So because he was like, the guy fucking finished his house is good. Yeah. I want him. I'll pay him extra.
Back, and then he still didn't want to pay me he still haggled. So then I got with another contractor. Yeah, I got with another contractor, and I gave him a bill. He said, okay, I went to work. I finished it. He was happy. Gave me enough. He just kept giving me work. He's never once like haggled with me.
Beautiful.
And he is busy, and he's keeping me busy. He goes, don't go anywhere. He goes, I will keep you busy.
So this is a drywall contractor.
Yeah, he's a drywall contractor.
And you sub for him.
But he does both. He used to be just a drywall contractor, but he's a builder also.
Okay.
So he started off as a drywall contractor. They've been in business for like 30 years. His dad owned the company, and he took it over. Okay. So he does everything now, from framing to new construction, like new and residential, commercial buildings. So he's not just a drywall contractor. He's a builder also, and a contractor too. So okay,
so you're like, screw it, I'll just work for this guy. I don't have to deal with the haggle master.
And he's been keeping me busy like crazy. Yeah. I have 3 projects going on right now with him.
Okay. And you give him a price, and he's just like, great, man. When can you start?
Yep.
Beautiful.
And now is at a point now when I don't even have to give him a price up front. He just, hey, I have this, go do it, and then bill me. And I'm not going to try to screw him over and try to like get.
Of course not.
No, I'm going to give him a fair price, and that way we keep that relationship going.
You're an honest guy. You mark, if there's add-ons or changes, you mark all that shit in your contract and make sure he's aware of what you're charging. Yep. Very cool. That's cool. Yeah. That's good. That's good intel for the drywallers out there. A lot of times too, it's like you don't want to upset somebody, and this, I'm speaking from personal experience. Like I've been beaten up plenty. You don't want to upset someone,
like there's days like yesterday, I had to go to 3 different places, and then so it's like, okay, how do I charge for that? Because I gotta go here. I have to go. No, I went to literally 3 different houses yesterday. Well, 2 commercial places and 1 house.
For the same builder, or
that's how busy.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And then so it's going from place to place. So then you gotta break it down. Okay, how much work did I do there? How much work did I do here? How much work did I do there? So I gotta break it down. And then whenever I do it, I submit it to him, and then he has no issues, man.
Do you just charge hourly for that? I call it windshield time.
No, I charge I figure out how much I should make for that day, and then that's how I would charge it. I figure okay, I pretty much broke down like how much house if I do a house, how much that would be, and then you break it down between days, or if you ever did property, if you ever did rent a house to someone, you pretty much, you can break down if they leave early, you pretty much break down how much they were there for that week,
Okay.
So that's how I broke
prorate.
Prorated, yes. I don't know why I couldn't think of it. So
that's okay.
So I just prorate how much I should make for a day.
Okay.
If I'm at 2 places for that day, I just break it down. I just charge, half at this property, half at that property. So if I'm at 3 properties for that day, I just break it down to 3 shifts,
Okay. All right.
And I just build that way.
All right.
So you gotta, if you do it hourly, like you won't make any money, like building hourly. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's shift a little bit. Where are you from originally?
New York City.
New York City, like
Yeah.
Manhattan,
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Okay.
Yeah.
And
And then
did you
Brooklyn.
start
I went to,
drywall? You start drywall in Brooklyn?
well, I used to work. My grandfather was a contractor, so I grew up in the trades.
Okay.
And then I left because I hated it.
You hated the trades or hated Brooklyn?
I hated the trades.
All right.
Because you grow up, when you have to do it, you're forced to do it. You don't want to do it really.
Right. Right.
And I wanted to, run around, and I want to do everything else, but the trade. So I grew up doing everything from pouring cement to framing.
Good.
To
Great. That's great though, because you get a little background knowledge doing that
doing
stuff.
plaster, flooring.
Yeah.
I did everything literally. Yeah. So I just didn't want to do it. So I went to college. I went to school in Wilmington, North Carolina. Like I left New York, went there, stayed there for a while.
What'd you study in college?
Communications.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why you're so good. That's why you're so good at negotiating.
Probably.
No, you learn that shit. You learn that shit out in the field, man. You don't learn that stuff in a classroom.
Nah, they don't teach you that shit. I learned that watching my grandfather.
Yeah, watching granddad not take shit from fucking contractors. Yeah. Cool. So you ended up, and for our listening audience, Jay worked for Brian with Drywall Nation a little bit. How did you end up in Canada? What the hell, dude? You're like, screw the United States. I'm going to Canada. I'm tired of this. Tired of this country.
Yeah. So she grew up there for a little. She grew up there. Okay. And then, so when her mother passed away, then her dad was sick, and then whenever we go to visit. She has a huge family. So whenever we go visit, my kids, they never want to come back home to the States. They always want to stay in Canada. So we're like, you know what? Your dad's sick. Let's go. No, she wanted to spend some time with him before and missed the opportunity of spending time with him before he passed away.
Okay.
So we just, sold everything here, sold the business, sold the house, everything. We moved up there. It's for family reasons. Yeah.
Was that challenging no, because Canada, they want people, so you could become a citizen pretty easily, correct?
Kind of.
It was still kind of. They're like, we want anybody except for fucking Americans.
They don't give
you guys can stay down. You guys can stay down there.
Else in the world, they give you papers pretty quick. If you're from the States,
American, no Americans, no Americans. Oh boy, figures. It doesn't matter. The Americans are all like, I don't want to go up there anyway. Americans can't bother themselves to learn like the geography of Canada, anyways. It's like.
Yeah. A lot of Americans still think all Canadians live in igloos.
Yeah. Well, and I've been learning about Canada too. It's very cool. And, the more I think you just explore different countries, different people, the smaller your world gets, really, and like how much you realize how much you don't know. So
Canada, it's a good place though, like especially not to cut you off, but
that's all right.
I noticed in Canada, like the work. It's a lot of work up there right now. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And finishing and drywall is more elevated up there, I think.
Yeah.
Like people care more and people they are more finesse.
I think they get paid a little more too. Let's be fair. They
get paid more.
When you're running down here in fucking Tennessee, you got jackass running you and not paying. Your work's going to be shittier, than when you get paid. Take your time, do a good job, and it's different.
And also they have a decent union up there. You can retire in the union.
Okay.
In Canada. There's no union in Tennessee for drivers.
Yeah, in certain areas, yeah. Did you do any union work while you were up in Canada?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Okay, cool.
The union is good. They don't really have like an education part of the union. But so you pretty much have to train your workers yourself. They might have a little bit up there, but it's not big,
Okay.
So in the commercial part, they have it's a little bit better, but for residentials, there's no help for residentials. Yeah.
What's the advantage of would you, in your opinion, of going union versus non-union in Canada?
If you don't know anything and you want help and you want to be around and get some education and just have a check, and you know you're gonna have a check.
Yeah,
it's good for commercial to be in the union.
Okay.
Residential, not so much, because you're relying on a person who hired you, so he's pretty much paying you out of his pocket. You know.
Yeah.
And you got to worry about what he trains you, if he trains you right. Because some people will try to handicap you also. You know how it is. They just teach you a little bit so you can stay with them and not go anywhere. You know.
Yeah, I talked with Meg a little bit about that. Do you know Megan Robertson, Meg's Drywall?
Yeah, I saw the podcast. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know what women have to deal with and all that shit. Yeah, I mean, you know, when I was an apprentice, I was like, give me that fucking box, man. You know, I was always anxious to learn it all, you know, and they keep you down here. It's like, no.
Yeah, you know, and so that's the only thing. And then you can also, if you just want to work, if you don't want to have your own business, you can actually work for, however long it is, 20, 25 years, whatever, and retire and have a, retirement fund in Canada. And then, so that's pretty much the only good thing about it. If you don't really want to, if you don't really have your own business, if you just want to, go to work every day, go home, and then collect a check, and then if that's what you want, then that's good.
Which is, as a self-employed person, you know, like myself, it's a bitch. You know, there's no easy route. You know, it is that security and career orientation of a union job is nice. You know, there's nice aspects.
Medical is free up there, pretty much. You know? You don't have to worry about it. Like us, we gotta pay for our health insurance.
Pay.
You know.
Yep. So your wife was up there. How did you meet this Canadian? What the hell, dude? You're in Brooklyn.
I was living in LA at the time.
Oh, okay. You've jumped around a bit.
Okay. I jumped around quite a bit. I was working before I did, I used to cut hair. I used to have like hair salons and stuff.
Nice. You're a barber?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yep. Barber. I used to cut females hair too, and everything. And then and I did photography also.
Okay. So that's why I dated a hairstylist a long time ago, but yeah, I got familiar with like the world of hair. It's kind of fascinating to me. Yeah. She was always my go-to because she did color. Okay, you know, for matching colors and stuff, I would go to her and she would,
okay.
Like, what color? I was like, you know, because when I first started, there wasn't a color line, so I had to make the colors. And you know, somebody would hand me a swatch and be like, "Hey, can you make this color?" And be like, "Oh yeah, I can make that color." Hey, babe, you know, I make this color, and it's different than hair, but it's a similar concept in that when you're blending
the pigments, the same.
Hair is really particular.
You have your color wheel, so you got to match up the color wheel.
Yeah. I had a color wheel early on that I would use, and I, you know, just remedial stuff. But that was the start of my color journey. Was dating a hairstylist that could do color. Okay. Yeah, and so cool. So you were doing hairstyling. That's how you guys met in LA.
Yeah, I was working for a big company out in LA called J Beverly Hills.
Okay,
and it's right there in Beverly Hills. It's on Wilshire and Bedford, and they have an academy out there. So I was one of the educators for the academy.
Oh wow, you were way into it.
Yeah, so I used to travel the world, like doing educational seminars. Like when you go to like IBS show, you have all those booths and stuff.
Yeah, why are you doing drywall now, dude? How come we didn't start here with the hair stuff?
Oh, I used to travel so much with it, and once I had the kids, I just wanted to be stable.
Okay.
And plus, I wanted to be away from like all like the models and the drugs and shit. And
oh, okay.
Yeah, and then because after that, I worked for that company for a long time, and then I moved back to New York, and then I would work with like magazines and I did like hair for a lot of commercials and magazines and models and celebrities. And I just didn't want to be around that anymore because you're constantly working, constantly traveling. And I didn't want to have any, temptations or whatever, So I just want to,
Are you clean, if you don't mind my asking? Are you clean and sober?
Well, I drink. I don't do any drugs.
You drink, but that was maybe that whole scene was just becoming an issue.
Yeah, just a scene. I didn't want to be in that scene, and I wanted.
It's in film too. My wife's from film. There's a lot of that shit, a lot of work, a lot of but
And I was never home. No, I'm 90% of the time I'm on the road. I might be in LA one day. I might be in London one day. I might be in Paris, but I just wanted to be with my kids. I grew up without a dad, and I didn't know my dad. I didn't know until I was like 17.
Okay.
So I didn't want to have that, kind of lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why.
So how'd you meet her?
I was teaching a class in LA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she had a hair salon here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So she brought her staff out there to take an advanced academy. That's what we did. Like for hairdressers that would come and learn all the new techniques and new styles and stuff like that. And we would teach it to them. And then they had a product line also. So we would train them how to use the products and stuff like that. So it was pretty much based on selling the products, but we teach them all advanced courses and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's about selling the products, teach them how to use it. And then
I mean that's the same thing I'm doing in up at CSR. I mean it's rare in this industry to be a product developer, but in the salon industry, products are a very big deal.
Yeah, exactly, and there's a lot of money in it.
Yeah. I just brought some hair cream like from my salon person. It was like $30, a little fucking tin. I was like, I want it to be a little bit shiny. I want to be able to style it. It's thinning. It's getting gray. I went blonde for a little while, like a year. I liked it. It was cool, but kind of a pain in the ass to color all the time. But then, like just this little tin, she sold me on it. I was like, whatever, dude. Is there gold flakes in here?
They actually have a product that actually have gold flakes in it.
I'm sure. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. They have plasters. It reminds me of plaster too. Like the plasters have gold flakes in it. Like some of that plaster gets pretty insane. What you said, you did something else too besides salon
photography. Yeah,
photography. Cool. So that's man, you were dialed in for Fresco, man. You got the photography chops. You got the plastering skills. What are you waiting on?
Oh yeah.
You like money. You like making money.
Yep. I come out there, yeah. I just gotta start doing it more. I just gotta start doing it more now.
Yeah.
But now that I'm here, I'm getting my foot in the door here, getting
and you're good at sales too. That's the other component, sales, because you have to be able to be like, hey, check this out. I can do this. Have you seen this stuff? Like that sort of thing. Exactly. You have to be able to sell it.
Yeah. And I'm going to use my wife's place as a showroom also. So I'm going to start doing
beautiful. Perfect. Put like AG drywall. And I tell everybody you can use the Fresco Harmony logo. Say that I won't vouch for somebody unless they've done a few jobs, but there's no like technical, class that you have to go through to get certified. If I look at your work and you can put that stuff on the wall and it looks good and you're a professional drywaller, I'll give you the nod, and you can say that you're certified or whatever. But I think all that stuff is smoke and mirrors anyways. In this industry, it's like
if you're good, you're good. That's all that matters. Like I've known people like they say, to be a good drywall or a finisher, you have to at least been doing it for 5 years. That's fucking bullshit. I know some people that have taken a year to be really, really good.
Yeah.
I know some people who's been doing it for 25 years. Just because you've been doing it for 25 years doesn't mean you've been doing it right for 25 years.
Yeah. And it's okay. Hey, Jay, you can say Brian Kitchen sucks after 25 years. It's okay, man. We'll have to cut that out.
Yeah. It's He's actually pretty good. He's really
I bet he
knowledgeable
is.
about a lot. He's
Yeah.
really, yeah, he's out of all the people I've met, he's the guy can frame, he can throw up
Okay.
drywall. He's not just a finisher, like he does literally everything, you know.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, he's actually really good, man. He
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
is.
Oh yeah.
I give it to him, and he will actually give you a shirt off his back too.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
he literally would have been over backwards to help you out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
so
seems like well, and you can kind of just tell, man, those guys up there, some of their work is just extraordinary, you know.
yeah, there's a
So
lot of guys.
very cool.
Before I moved to Canada, I was a hand finisher. I never used only tools I used was a roller and a flusher and a tool.
Okay. All right.
Before I moved to Canada, I learned how to use the boxes, the bazookas, everything in Canada. You
And
know,
how'd you get hooked up with, how'd you find Brian?
um, just it's on the internet, but also my buddy
Okay.
Ben was working with Brian, and they needed some help up in Sudbury, and then so Ben told Brian, "I know a good finisher," and then so they asked me to come up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long ago was that? Was he like all starting the Drywall Nation and getting real popular and stuff during the time that you worked with him?
No, it was already a little popular, I think. Yeah,
It was already pretty popular.
yeah. So, I went up there. It was recent, like maybe was it what a year and a half ago, last year, something like that.
Okay.
I went up there, and I was up there for about 4 months. I was in
Okay.
Sudbury for like 4 months. Like yeah,
Okay.
I stopped.
Small period of time.
Yeah, yeah. I worked with him
Cool.
for like yeah. It was four, yeah. I worked with him for like about 4 months. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And you enjoyed working with him? You learned some stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I pretty much not so much. I learned a little bit, but it wasn't. It was just. It was more of like a bunch of guys who knew they shit working together. You know, you learn a little bit
Right.
here, a little bit here. So like it was me, and I was doing my work because it was a big retirement home, huge. So we all
Okay.
had our units to do. So I would do like, and me and my buddy Ben, we would take 3 units at a time.
Okay.
Yeah, so literally, I would take 3 units. So I would do like
And like you could tape them all out in a day and then next day
yeah.
box them.
Mm-hmm. So I would do like a 2 bedroom and then 2 1 bedrooms. Yeah. So
Okay.
and then you do the same thing. So tape everything. Do everything at a time. Tape, box, screws. You
Yeah.
know, and everything was all bow nose there too, and
Ah,
and everything was 10 feet.
okay.
Yeah, I mean it was a lot of work. And
Do you
Brad
run
Hannah,
you run the bazooka, right?
yeah, I run everything. I have pretty much every
But
tool.
you said you didn't run any of the tools before working with Brian?
No, before I moved to Canada.
Before you moved to Canada. Okay.
I was running all the tools before I went. I worked with Brian. I was doing it for a while.
And Brad Hannum was working there too?
Yeah, he left right before I got there.
Okay.
Yeah, so he did quite a few units up there, but he like literally he left right before I got there.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
he's a pretty cool dude.
I missed him by like a week, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I never. Yeah, I talked to him on Instagram a few times, quite a few times, but we never met personally.
Yeah, he's a character.
Yeah.
That we're gonna do a live podcast from CSR when I go up there in a couple
Okay.
weeks. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Just talk like this. It might be a little different because it's live. This I can edit. I can edit this. But I'll probably be a little more careful, maybe what I say.
Yeah, especially in that crowd, like you don't know who goes back and say shit to whoever, so you want to,
Any crowd, dude. Any crowd.
Yeah, yeah. That's life in general.
That's live, man. You got to be careful.
Yeah.
We have Kayla on this Thursday. And so, yeah, there's a bunch of great, it's so cool and interesting to learn, some of the routes that the drywallers have taken. These paths are interesting. I mean, hairstyle, a hair person, that's like, you're the first hair person that we've had on the show. That's like, also does drywall. That's pretty rare,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then between that and I did that and photography, I did photography for a bit too. So that's actually I need to get back into it. I haven't done it in a while. Like I kind of lost touch with it.
I'll tell you where that photography is going to come in handy is when you start doing the fresco, dude, because this stuff is hard to photograph, and when you can start taking photographs, putting them on your Instagram, and then, put together a little portfolio, that's kind of how you sell it. It's hard. You did a little bit of plaster. Did you do the plaster when you were with Brian up in Canada, or did you do it on your own?
I did it on my own. I grew up doing plaster. My grandfather, he did plaster,
Like what kind of plaster? What were you guys doing?
Bath and plaster. That's old school.
Okay. Old school.
Or you put it behind like a gauge, metal gauge, and then you put cement on top of that, and then you put the plaster on top of that. Or you do the lath and plaster, you build it with wood, and then you put it on top of that, then you put the plaster.
Yeah, they do that. They do that in Santa Fe here. Nightmare. Okay. Looks like a nightmare. Yeah. Like if you have a really bad, like the worst dream of your entire life, like that's plaster.
And then so I always I've done like a few jobs here and there with the Venetian plaster.
Okay.
With my brother-in-law. Then Brian, he does Venetian plaster also.
Yeah.
So he did a job up there, and then I was around that. Then I'm like, all right, I'll probably I love it. It's like putting marble on the wall. It's really nice, man.
Yeah.
It's really, really
nice.
So then I'm like, okay, I can get back into this. And then you could chart. I mean, you can literally do a quarter of the work that we do for a whole house and get paid just as much, or a little bit more.
That's right.
A quarter of the work, So
that's right.
And then you don't have to worry about relying on contractors. You can go straight to the homeowners, go straight to the designers. So you cut that middleman out.
Yep. Yeah, and a lot of times I'll bid a job, or I'll a builder will just be like, I'll be like, am I going through you or am I going through the homeowner? He'll just go through the homeowner. I don't want to mess with you. You're outside of the confines of the normal construction, conversation. So they're like, just go deal with the homeowner. If it's an accent wall, I mean, a lot of what we do, it's like you go to the house, couple $1,000, take 10 hours,
Exactly.
Whatever.
Why kill myself? Build scaffold.
We ain't doing no drywall. I tell you that right now. It's like those guys. You guys can fight over the drywall, and then I'll come in and make it pretty. Talk to the designer. Get lots of respect. Everybody respects you. Talking about color.
Exactly.
Different world, and I'm still using joint compound. So. Essentially,
that's a nice thing about it too. Question for the sample: how much? If I just want to do a sample board, I don't know if you ever thought about doing it, instead of sending out a whole thing of it.
Yeah.
You ever thought about doing little samples for people to do sample boards, little ones?
Yeah. I've thought about it.
Is that too much work?
No. There's a lot of ways to market. Essentially, what you're talking about is marketing. So if I send you, and with the sealer, you can only do 50 square feet, anyways. If you want to do a wall with that little sealer sampler I sent, you can do 50 square feet. You could do about the size, a half a sheet of sheetrock, maybe a whole sheet. But you can't do that much. So when somebody comes back, they're like, oh, I want to do a whole wall. It's like, well, you got to order a quart. But what it does for, in my opinion, is it vets out the looky-loos. Everybody wants to do Venetian plaster. It's like, but not everybody can do Venetian plaster, or you don't want to do Venetian plaster. It's a pain in the ass. Fresco Harmony is a pain in the ass. It just happens to be easier than plaster. But you still got to have the tools. You got to mix up that color. You got to know what you're doing. So I would prefer to send that color pack and let somebody, try it out. If you can't mix up a batch and make a sample, you have no business ordering product.
Exactly.
That's my bet. That, instead of taking a class, like, and we have plenty of DIYers they just get it. They're like, oh yeah, I played around with mud. I see what he's doing. He's mixing it up and going and doing it. And like, then you put on the sealer. Likewise, I've had professional plaster guys, tell me it doesn't work, and then they go and try and do it and they fuck up a wall. And it's like, how are you even fucking this up, dude? This is just joint, And I'll go in and try and tell them what to do. And they're like, oh, I'm a professional plasterer. Get out of here. And it's like, well, this ain't plaster. It's joint compound. It's, it's not, it doesn't even look like plaster. And I'm not trying to make it look like plaster. I don't give a shit. No. People can be like, oh, you're just coloring joint compound. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. Like, and I'm not trying to pull the wool over anybody's eyes. What I did was I created a way that you can color joint compound consistently. And then I created a system that works so that you can do walls.
Like, it's its own category. It's not that. And
yes. It's not faux finishing.
Whole category. That's it.
It's not American clay. That's mud from the ground. It's super expensive. It's shitty. They don't seal it. Venetian plaster is great, but it's really expensive. You can shine it and burnish it up. It looks fabulous, but not everybody wants to pay $25 a square foot. Fresco Harmony is that sweet spot right in between ugly ass paint and texture, or paint in level 5, and Venetian plaster. You can come in with Fresco Harmony at a reasonable price point and blow out the whole house or room. You can do more than just an accent wall, but we do plenty of accent walls where I get paid, well. We $1,000 for 6 hours.
What's great about, I saw you actually even spray the covers also, don't you? You color the covers.
Yeah, that's unique. So early on, we were doing. I didn't like the way the covers of the vent covers looked, and so I went down the rabbit hole of like trying to they have those little twist-on spray cans.
Yeah, yeah.
You can dump the paint in, and then you shake it up. Those never worked. And I'll show you what I got. What I ended up with. You could use a Graco too. Those Graco airless, those would work really good, because people are like, well, can you get like a match color, in the paint, which we use. So I have a shop here that has all my match colors for the Fresco Harmony. Okay. So I have match latex and oil paint for each color. Like, let's say I do a house. We're doing a house right now. They'll get 5 gallons of match paint for the garage or like the closets. It comes in handy for all kinds of different stuff. But the outlet covers, you can't really paint with a brush because it looks like shit. You want to spray them out. So you could do that. If I was doing a whole house, you could do that with a Graco. You want to prime them with a metal and plastic primer, and then go through and hit them with a Graco sprayer. But for all of the various colors, what I did early on was they have a can. There's this cool machine that'll put oil base. You could pump oil base paint right into the tip of this. Oh, yeah. So it's like 18 pumps, and you can pump. And so this is mixes up an oil base match paint, and that's what I use for my outlet and vent covers. And then I don't worry about the airless or the Graco. I just take this to the job. I'll mix up 3 cans at a time. The machine that makes these are really specialized. The paint company that we get these from was selling me these, and they were like $14 a piece, and I was like, how? Where'd you get? I was like, where do you get that little machine? And the machine was not cheap. It was like $300 for the machine, but I make a shitload of these. And these are also how we do, I match paint the labels that go on to the color packs. And this is how we do it.
Oh, this fucking genius. Legend. That's nice, man. Yeah.
I had to figure, this took a long time, years to figure out, because I was like, we tried a bunch of different methods, and I hated that, you can see it down there. You can see that outlet cover.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
So that's JJ Ash onto the JJ Ash wall. It just makes it go away, and now, and especially vent covers, people don't like, houses nowadays are littered with outlet covers and vent covers.
Yeah.
So if in your case, you would have to, because we don't, I considered selling the match paint, but then it's like, I don't want to be a paint. I don't want to sell paint. Yeah. You can take that sample board that you made, that Merriman beige, go down to your paint shop and they'll make you up a match paint. You can go to Home Depot, they'll throw it on the computer and make you, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it's nice if it's close.
Like you have a nice wall, then you have a bright white, cover.
Yeah. If we're doing whiter colors like Gallery Pearl or Patterson Snow, it's no big deal,
Yeah,
they look fine. But if you're doing a rich wall and you have these white covers all over, they look like crap. The one homeowner that we just came from really appreciated that we did that and really loved it. Like he that was like the icing on the cake. We're going back over to their house to do more fresco. This stuff just begets itself. So once you do a little bit, you do the salon. Who you really want to target is not your wife's salon. You're going to have to do that regardless. But like that builder that you work with, you go and show him that color chart and show him a sample and tell him you'll do a free wall on the next house, like a feature wall. That's how you sell it.
Exactly. Like that, and also designers too, because right now designers have a lot of say. These days they have more say than pretty much anybody else right now.
Absolutely. Yeah, the job that Jack's on, we're doing a whole house and the designers sold it. They didn't know what they were going to do. We did a bid against Level 5 over orange peel texture and paint. And our bid was $2,000 under the Level 5 and paint bid. And that was a designer. Now she wants me to do her studio and like her actual studio, like and I don't even have time. Like I'll have to charge her, I might give her like a little discount, but I brought her a bouquet of flowers. I was like, hey man, thanks for the job, $37,000 or whatever. That's what Jack needs help on. Like we got lots of training. Come here, you can train for a week. Put you on with Jack. Anytime. Bring
your stepson. Come on.
Bring David. Yeah. You guys can we'll turn you loose. No, we're doing the sand on that house too, and that's a really cool finish. It's a little different. Looks kind of like American clay. It's a little different than the regular method, but it's very satisfying. Jack likes doing that finish. It's a neat finish.
Now, is he just doing Fresco Harmony, or is he finishing also? Is he doing both? Just Fresco Harmony?
So this job is a remodel. So there's a little bit of drywall. So Jack's a drywall finisher. He comes from that, but we just do fresco. But on this job, there's enough that I told the owner, I was like, well, I'll just charge you hourly. Like I don't make money on drywall. I make money on Fresco Harmony. I was like, well, I'll charge you time and materials for the drywall that Jack takes. I pay Jack a little more to do. He actually makes more doing drywall. He's like, fuck you, dude. Like I can go sell drywall on my own, I'm going back. Yeah. And so I pay him like a premium for drywall, I don't care. And so he'll prep the house, but we just tape it and 2-coat it, no sanding, and we go right into the Fresco Harmony.
Yeah, that's nothing. You don't have to prime either. You don't have to prime it either.
Nothing. Even when you're going like from a flat wall to orange peel texture, just blow it out. Just blow the whole thing out. Yeah, it's in this scenario, it's just the cat's meow. It's a really good system.
Yeah. Have you done used like the boxes and stuff? I think I heard you talk about it. Yeah. So you use the bazooka boxes and
a long time ago. I was union. I started in the union, and I've got a small story about that. I was in the union for about a year and a half, but when I moved down to Arizona, it was piece rate, and I didn't know anything about piece rate, and I had run the boxes enough that I could wrangle through figuring it out. And I worked with a guy that knew how to run the bazooka. He was from Florida, Okeechobee. This crazy hillbilly. And he and it didn't work out working with him. And so he left one day, or I told the company, I was like, I can't work with that guy. I'm just going to do it myself. And I had worked with the bazooka just enough to be like, I can figure it out. I can take it the rest of the way. And so I did, a couple of houses, and I got, when you're working piece rate, you figure it out real quick.
Oh, yeah, you figure it out.
I knew it was faster. I knew it was faster than a banjo. And I knew if I was finishing houses at 8 cents a square foot, like I better figure it out.
Wow.
I was 23, 22, 23. Yeah, that was a while ago. But then when I moved to Colorado, we got hourly. And that's when I started doing the hand textures. And that sort of rounded out my training. So moving around, much like yourself, moving around gives you like a broad learning potential.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It's cool. It's cool. Mm-hmm. And so you learn how different people, because then I went up to Colorado and they were using a banjo. Like the hangers were finishing the house. They were all using a banjo. And I was like, why are you guys using a banjo? And,
yeah.
They
Even
were just,
here, I got some guys to come in and they doing everything by hand. I was like, what are you doing? I'm like, he goes, I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, fuck.
I know. Like, okay.
I'm like, no.
Right. Bye. I'll be over here. Like only for a couple days. I'll only be over here for a couple days, and then I'll say goodbye to you guys. You guys will be here for another month.
like past few weeks. Oh man, we just did a big commercial job, and I had to go behind them. They taking forever. And now another job, I had to go behind these other guys. I'm like, so I show up to the head. Just take this. This is how you use it. Go. And then here I do a lot of level 5 now. There's a lot here because a lot of stuff is more. It's a lot of high end homes and high end stuff. So I got like 48-inch skimming blade trying to get these walls done.
Yeah.
And so I got another. Actually, I just got a brand new set from Columbia. I won from CSR.
Shut up! In the giveaway.
Yeah, the giveaway.
Nice.
I got a whole brand new Warrior set. Yes, or has a 38. I mean the 32, the 18.
Oh man, you scored.
7. Yeah, and a handle and the attachment blade to put the so you can put the blade on the handles to do the walls. Yeah. So but I do it. I roll it on, and I have like an 18-inch roller. So
you gotta fire up a video and throw it up on Insta and give them a shout out.
Oh yeah, I did. I gave him a shout out.
Oh, okay.
But I'm gonna do another one. I did like a short video.
Yeah.
With my, so I'll probably do another one. I need to do more videos and stuff like that.
It's hard.
Yeah, because you show up to work, you just want to get in and out, But then
even with Fresco, like I could post new content every day, and I'm like, I'm so lazy about it. It's like, even just like spraying outlet covers, or what we're up to on this job, or doing the swirl, or anything, man. It's just endless, But that whole influencer thing, that's a skill. That's like
you have to have time for it. You got to remember. Especially now, I have 2 little ones. I just want to get home to them. Yeah. They want to go to the park, but they want to. My son now he's in a video game, so he's kicking my ass in all video games now.
You got to practice up. Yeah, because then you go home. I get bitched at because I'm like, I'm doing social media stuff, and I'm promoting a product, so I kind of like I have to be on top of that shit all the time. But it's very time consuming. I have to be in the evening, I have to be like, okay, I'm put the phone down, even if it's just like watch cartoons with the kid, just like be there, be present for however much time till he goes to bed, and then I can.
Yeah, I didn't ask. You have kids?
I have a 7-year-old. Yeah.
7-year-old? Okay. About the same age. My son's 8. Yeah, so about the same.
Yeah, it's cool. It's fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I coach his soccer team. We're firing up soccer next week. So that's going to be challenging.
Oh, okay. I coached this soccer team like one year. The funniest thing, so I got I got tricked into coaching. So
nice.
Yes. So one of the dads, I guess, he was like, "Oh, we're gonna do a soccer team, and I just can you just substitute us every now and then if you have?" I'm like, "Sure,
yeah.
All right, that's no problem." So the first game, he goes, "Oh, I can't make it. You gotta."
Yeah.
I grew up in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I never played soccer in my life.
Okay.
So I'm sitting there trying to coach these 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
They're running all over the place.
Yeah, it's like herding cats.
Yeah, yeah, I had no idea what I was doing. Yeah, so I'm sitting like just scratching my head, running behind these kids.
Yeah.
And then my wife came, she bought some snacks. So now they start listening. They just want to pay for snacks.
Oh, all right.
Okay, here you go. Yeah.
We did. So I played college soccer, so I'm probably overqualified for the age that he's at currently, but I don't care. We played for like a chill club that was like really like just have fun and everybody gets to play and all that. And then he's getting into. I'm starting to coach with some ballers that like we're. And even at like 7, man, I mean, these kids are balling it up. So it's like, okay, well, if you want to play competitive and take it to the next level, let's go, so, and then I'm going to have to step up my coaching as well. So, and I, just like everything too, I got to weigh it out and be like, do I want to commit to this thing? Time becomes like really precious when you're raising children, working and all that stuff. You have to be conscious of it, as growing up and not having that influence, that is really key. That father influence is a big deal.
Oh yeah. Now my son, he's boxing now also. So
cool.
I grew up boxing and
nice.
I was like 17, 18.
Okay.
But so I got him a coach, so he's doing like one-on-one training with him, and
nice.
You see the progression. It's like he's getting better and better. So
oh yeah,
I'll go with him, and then when we come back home, I have a bag in this room and stuff like that. So
okay,
so I got the gloves and everything.
Nice.
So yeah, and
he likes boxing.
Oh, he loves it. Yeah,
cool. Yeah, my wife just started boxing with our trainer. It looks fun as hell. I wrestled a little bit in high school. Okay. I liked it, but I've always like admired boxing from afar.
Oh yeah, and he has so much energy, and it's a sport that you work out everything, from your legs to your stomach, to your shoulders, to your neck.
Well, like wrestling, people don't realize why you do all the conditioning. It's like you jump in there and it's like you're tired in 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
wrestling's great because you have to cut weight all the time, so it's easy for you to
I hated it.
You gotta cut weight too, but still, but wrestling, it's a lot more. I think it's a lot more conditioning in wrestling because weight class is a little bit more.
It was hard. Yeah. I was good. I was good at it. I wrestled my freshman year of high school and took 3rd at districts. I was good at it. I was lightweight. I was 101 pounds freshman year in high school. And I didn't wrestle after that. I hated it so much. It was too hard. I was like, fuck this. I'm going back to soccer.
What you weigh?
I was 101. What do I weigh now?
No, in high school.
I was 101 pound. I was lightweight.
1 pound? Okay.
I was the smallest guy. Yeah, we'd go out first onto the mat. Everybody would like gather around. And then we were the first. The 101 pounders were the first on the mat. And then there was, 12 weight classes, or whatever. 8 weight classes, maybe 12. I can't remember.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was between 170 and 180.
Yeah. I was little. I was little when my freshman year, college. I was little, And like I started, you know, I was just good. I was fast and good. I was small, but I was fast, and those guys kicked my ass. I mean, my second game, I busted my collarbone. Gone.
All right, my cousin, he wrestled, and man, we'd go to the gym, we'd box, and then I would get him in boxing, and then we go to wrestler. He would kick my ass every time.
Yeah. Wrestling's different, man.
He's skinny than me too. I was like, I'm thinking because he's skinny. All right, I take him. Nope.
Yeah.
Doesn't
yeah,
matter.
but you could probably kick his ass boxing though, because boxing's
definitely.
Boxing's a whole different world, man. You know, it's not like sparring on it's not like wrestling, you know, the moves and the counter moves.
Yep.
Wrestling was cool. It was definitely cool, but I just, you know, I just didn't like it. It was too much work, too much, like you lose your Christmas vacation.
Yeah, that's why I quit boxing, because it's just way too much work, you know. And
a lot of work.
I wanted to run around and
me too. Yeah, me too.
You can't do that.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, soccer kept me on the straight and narrow clear through those college years. You know, it was like you couldn't party too much and play college soccer because we were training all the time. You know, and after that, stopped playing college. Just stopped going to college, playing soccer, jumped into drywall. Then it was like party time. I was like a kid in a candy store. Yeah. AG Drywall, Jay Hodges out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. Thank you so much for being on the Drywall Podcast today. Pearl of wisdom that you could bestow upon the drywall community. What do you got?
Stay true to your craft. Like, learn as much as you can. Like, don't think you know everything. If you want to learn something, don't hesitate to ask for help. Don't hesitate to ask somebody a question, because we don't know everything, you know. And it's so much for us to learn. I have the Greco pump now. I got about 6 months ago, and just that's helping me out. So always, you know, look for broaden your horizon. Like, don't put a box around yourself, you know.
I like it.
Yeah, so that's the thing I can say, because we get stuck in our ways. We think, no, I'm not doing that. That's crap. No. Leave that door open. Like, step outside the box. You know, don't shut yourself off of things. You know, try to learn new techniques. Try to learn new crafts. Try to learn as much as you can, because when you do, that's just more clientele you can get. That's more customers you can get. You know, the more you know, the more you can do. You know.
Absolutely.
That's it. Yeah.
Well,
take up some Fresco Harmony.
Thank you so much for being with us today. I think CSR is putting together a swag bag for guests that come onto the Drywall Podcast. Hopefully we'll have that together soon. Maybe you're right in there, one of the first sort of interviewees to be offered something, but we haven't fleshed it out. That you get Spy Sponge, maybe a shirt from Columbia, a bucket, you know, some cool stuff, maybe a color pack, something like that. There you go, buddy.
And I see it's not, like, honestly, they've helped me out so much, man. I in a pinch, I call them up, email, whatever, and they help me out as much as they can, man.
They're just pro, man. They set the bar, just like there's drywallers that set the bar in our industry. I feel like for suppliers, I feel like CSR is a type of company that sets the bar. You know, It's very cool. And
you're with the top company, the top supplier, man. Good for you, man. I'm proud. That's
tenacity. Thanks, man. A little luck, a little tenacity, you know, but Brad was cool. I think he gave me a shot. And then, you know, I think too, they're smart about vetting people. You know, I think he knew I wasn't full of shit. And so that carried a lot of weight.
Yeah.
You know,
all right, look for, maybe I can try to get down there like in April or something like that.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, there's always work down here. There's always some fun to do. If there isn't, we'll just hang out in the studio, even if you come down for a couple of days.
Come hang out in the studio. We don't really have to do anything. I just come hang out in the studio.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be tired anyway, so
yeah. Cam, like we put Cam to work, man. He was running. He was running for 2 weeks.
I'm getting old too. I'm 45 now.
Nice. I'm 46. We're pretty close.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be 46 in September. Yeah, so
nice.
Yeah.
All right, sir. Well, you have a good rest of your day, and we'll talk soon, Jay.
All right, sounds good, man.
All right, man. Later. Special thanks to Jay Hodges for being on the Drywall Podcast today. I sincerely appreciate your time and your knowledge about the industry. Special thanks to Can-Am Tools for sponsoring the Drywall Podcast for the months of March and April. Now you have a chance to get your hands on these awesome tools at a discounted price. If you go to canamtool.com and enter promo code TDP15. Also, be sure to look for my interview with company president Wolfgang Dombrowski coming up very soon. You can listen to a new episode of the Drywall Podcast every Friday on your favorite platforms such as Podbean, Apple Podcast, Spotify, and also YouTube. Tune in next week when we have Jeff Mills of Mills Drywall out of Connecticut. Great guy, great interview. Guests of the Drywall Podcast will receive a swag bucket from CSR full of all kinds of good stuff. Thank you so much for joining the Drywall Podcast today. I appreciate it. Until next time, keep drywalling.